Welcome to Moms with a Call. We're not here to preach, convert, or fix you. We're here to listen.
We're Mackenzie.
And Rebecca, two women with messy stories, honest questions, and a quiet hope that maybe Jesus looks a lot more like love than we were ever shown. If you've ever wondered if there's a place for you in all of this, there is. Come, have a seat at the table. You're safe here. You're welcome here. Let's begin.
Cheers. You ready to dive in? Let's do it. All right. So, wait, it's bad luck if we don't drink. We've got our little espresso martinis here for our midnight series where we are finishing out your testimony. This has been really, I don't want to say fun to talk through, but I don't know. What's the word? Do you have a word for it? Maybe not fun.
Freeing?
Free. I love that. Yeah,
Yeah.
freeing. It's been freeing. I think that's how I'll feel once we talk through mine too.
Yeah.
To get this all out. It's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
How has this made you feel emotionally?
It's been healing because, like I said, I don't think I've ever really gone back and sat with a lot of it and processed it. So
We're
then
here
writing
today.
it, yeah, I was like, oh, but it has been so healing to even write it and then chat about it too.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, writing out mine too, it felt the same way.
In English, we say, God's plan is better than mine. In poetry, we say, a seed does not understand why it is buried, yet in surrender, it becomes a garden. Letters of Anna Wynne. When I listen to other people's testimonies, most, if not all of them, have this aha moment where God showed up for them and essentially saved them in a split second, never looking back. I didn't have that moment. Mine felt like it came slowly over time with the repeated choice of surrender daily, sometimes multiple times a day. I don't have that aha moment with God, but I do know that I was saved from a spiritual death. That much is obvious to me. There I was, lying in the pit of spiritual darkness. I was fine here, as long as I could lay down for a while and rest. I didn't have my hand reaching up for saving. I wasn't pleading with some divine being to forgive me and bring me back, but he came anyway. Looking back now, I picture divinely being picked up and carried out of the darkness and planted on a new path. Not a path that I chose for myself, but a new one, guided by actual light. I didn't know why I was here on this new path, and I wasn't even sure I wanted to be on it, but I walked down it anyway. And with that came the most unexpected news I would ever receive. There was a new life growing inside of me. I was going to be a mom. Cue the sound of tires coming to a screeching halt. A baby? I should be ecstatic, right? Grateful even. But the first thing I felt was panic. I was 25 years old, unmarried, like that even mattered to me at that time, but I knew it mattered to others. I had not ever missed a pill. Truly, how could this even be possible? Do I even want to be a mom? These were some of the many thoughts I sat with alone for 2 solid weeks, keeping the news to just myself and my now husband. Of course, I knew I had the option to stay pregnant if I wanted to. And I won't lie, for a split second, I weighed my options. However, all the way past my bones to the depth of my soul, I knew I wanted to be a mom and to have this baby. No matter how scared I was and how much my life was going to change, the sacrifice felt immeasurable to the life slowly growing inside of me. That much felt like an honor, a privilege, a divine blessing. Little did I know this baby would play the main role in finding me a gardener to water this new garden I wanted to build for her, for us, our family that I would one day call our home, our life together. As a mom, I felt the immediate desire to protect overcome me. Even though the life inside of me was still forming, I felt desperate to create a world for us that was sacred, soft, simple even. I wanted this garden to be special, but it felt like I kept coming up short on how to make that space thrive. This is the point in my story where the new garden, which was my life, began to form. It was slow, intentional, a bit messy, still lost to care, but there was something entirely different about the soil this time. It was clean. 4 years later, those beautiful blue eyes, curly hair, and a mind with the brightest, most colorful imagination looked at me with complete wonder and a curiosity so deep that I did not know how to manage it at times. As I bounced her baby brother on my hip and asked me a reasonable question. The question was not the problem. The fact that I did not have an answer is what stirred my spirit. I know that I'm not a knower of all things, but this felt like something I could have given to her, and I felt like I was falling short. I quickly responded with, "You know what? That's a great question, but I really don't know the answer to it. Can mommy try and find out and we can talk about this soon?" While she agreed and moved on to something else to occupy her mind, I was struck with determination. I opened the bag from the store and pulled out the book. I knew of this book. My whole childhood was centered around the stories in it, but why did I not know a single thing about it? I surely should have retained enough information to have a conversation with my curious little daughter about it. So I opened it with the slightest bit of hesitation and began reading. I am a skeptic at heart, curious to a fault, I guess you could say. I wonder if that's where my daughter gets it from. But she didn't seem doubtful. She seemed eager. As I turned page after page, my curiosity grew, but so did the confusion. Why was I resonating with all of the characters in this story who seemed to be the problem? They didn't seem problematic. They seemed human, lost, searching for something that felt out of their grasp, a garden of their own where they felt safe. That is what we're all searching for, right? Peace, joy, contentment, unity, a life built around intention and love. Of course, that wasn't going to look easy for them. I mean, give them a break. They just escaped slavery and have been traveling in the wilderness for 40 years with complete uncertainty. This book was odd. Not at all what I expected. But I was desperate to know how the story would end. Would they find peace? Security? Would they make it to their destination? I wanted that so badly for them. Story after story, I was conflicted with the same thoughts. These characters deserve some grace, someone who understands them, someone to save them. Why so much pressure? Also, why are some characters held to this higher standard and some excused for, in my opinion, inexcusable behavior? Was this man they either looked up to or downright rejected so emotional? And probably the two most important questions I asked myself was, why do I see myself in these stories? And who is this main character? My brain could not process both questions, so the next thing I did was remove myself from seeing myself in these stories. I removed my opinion. I removed my expectations and focused solely on the main character. I had to concentrate on either one or the other, and I was more curious about him. I was completely engulfed. Page after page continued to turn. What was strange was that it was not that I opened this book and found an immediate sense of clarity, and everything leading up to that moment suddenly made sense. I was still very much confused by what I was reading, but there was this dimly lit wonder there that kept nudging my spirit forward to find out more. I don't remember hearing these things about the main character on Sunday mornings. Unless I have just been completely mistaken, I don't think this is how society and past cultures have portrayed him for the past 2,000 years. I don't see any of these political views I've heard about anywhere in this book. Am I reading this wrong? He seems gentle. He seems present, compassionate, understanding. I never felt a sense of peace in my life up until this point. Not until I started searching these pages. Wait, why did I feel a sense of peace? I am the girl with anxiety. Where is this coming from? Why do I feel free? I finished the book and all I could do was sit there in complete shock with tears streaming down my eyes. This main character was a gardener of some sort. He watered the testimonies of countless women during a time when society devalued their voices. He cared for the sick, gave food to the poor, fought fearlessly for children, elevated the marginalized and oppressed, flipped the tables of greed, and protected the vulnerable. He created radical change while watering others' gardens. This is the gardener I had been searching for my new garden. One who would fight for my life to thrive. One who would tend to my needs when my soul felt withered. One who would see my uniqueness and understand the beauty behind it. One who would water my spirit and make it come alive. After all of this, I sat with my daughter on the front porch and said, I think I have the answer to your question now. And with her sweet little grin of acknowledgement, the conversation began. It has been over 2 years since that front porch conversation with my daughter, and our entire lives have been changed, especially mine. While I sit with questions from time to time, my life has been upended into a type of peace that surpasses all understanding, an ever-present comfort in knowing we are tended to, an intentional, slow lifestyle that I never thought to be attainable, and a type of healing that always felt out of my grasp. I will never run out of gratitude for simply being enough. Enough to be saved. Saved is an understatement. It is a revolutionary shift that can only be attributed to a divine force. A gardener who said, she's mine. I will care for her. So who is this gardener, you ask? Well, that part comes next.
So, this last part, so there's the new garden. So kind of where it's like blooming, there's like new life in this garden that the Lord is like tilling. You know, he's starting, you can see he's tilled, he's kind of helped you come, you're starting to move out of that pit a little bit.
Yeah.
And a big turning point was motherhood.
Yes.
For you.
Huge turning point.
Yeah. How did becoming a mom help you rebuild a new life?
Oh my gosh. Bless you. Becoming a mom totally upended my life and made it so magical, so nourishing, so healing. It felt like I knew where I was meant to be. I was not confident about a lot of things in my life, but being a mom, once I was in it and accepted the fact that it was happening, oh my gosh, it was so freeing.
Now, did that happen while you were pregnant or when you met her? Or a little bit after you met her?
I think it was while I was pregnant.
Okay.
But not at first. Not when I first found out.
Well, okay, so walk me through first finding out.
Yeah.
How did that?
So Ross and I, my husband, we went on a trip to Chicago and I was not feeling well. I wasn't sick, but I was like, gosh, I am so tired. And I just didn't feel like myself. But we were going to Chicago for the weekend. We were going to see Jay-Z and Beyonce. Great show. And then I was like, oh, I'll figure it out when we get home. I'm just going to live in the moment. And then we get home and we go out to dinner with my family and we're trying this new place in town. Well, it's not new, but I'd never been there. And I was like, I eat a bite of my food and I'm like, oh, this is disgusting. Like,
it's not the worst.
Oh, but see, I didn't know. In my mind, I was like, I don't know why people are hyping up this restaurant. Like, it is not good.
Like, it's so gross.
Yeah. And I had gotten up to go to the bathroom and my mom like came with me. She was like, Rebecca, I think you're pregnant. And I was like, Mom.
Honey has this intuition.
She does. Honey knows things.
She does.
And she doesn't even remember saying this to me because we talked about it like a month ago. And I was like, yeah. I mean,
her spirit is working.
It's chaotic.
But I'm telling you, like,
chaotic. It's colorful. There's a lot going on. But she was like, I think you're pregnant. You know, I'm like,
no. What?
I was like offended. She
said
birth
that
control
to me.
I was on birth control.
Like an IUD or a pill? Or
a pill.
I
had an alarm on my phone.
So you took it at the same time every day?
Wow. And so Mom was like, just go take a test. I'm like, okay. The next day, I took a test to just like rub it in her face. Almost like, I told you I'm not pregnant. And that thing lit up so fast.
How far along were you?
I was like almost 8 weeks.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
maybe like 7 and some change when I went to the OB.
Wow.
And I was like, you're kidding. And it's so funny because my mom was like, I think you're pregnant. And when I found out, I was like, I can't tell my mom. She's going to be like, I'm not married. She can't tell my family.
But they seem so like
They are.
not tradition. Like not, I mean, they all like they're
Like, they have their traditional values
Yes.
that they hold close to their heart.
but they also
but
seem so
they're-
chill.
Yeah, they're very laid back. They're definitely a balance.
Mm-hmm. So wait, you told your mom first?
No.
No.
I
You told Ross.
obviously, yes. He was
I mean,
like,
people tell their moms first.
yeah, no. I was like, I've been dating this man for 8 months. I was like, this is gonna be a hard conversation.
Did he have any idea that you could
No,
potentially?
no,
He
no,
was,
no,
it wasn't
no.
even on his
He was
radar.
so he was as shocked as I was, but he received it so well. I mean, I know that outside of talking to me and comforting me, his wheels were turning and he was
Sure.
like panicking.
He's like, oh my gosh, I got to provide it for a family.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. But he didn't even try to really chat that much about it the first night. He just came and hugged me. That was it. And then he was like, you want to go for a walk? And I'm like, yeah. And we walked the loop and we still didn't talk.
It was quiet the whole time.
It was like a deer in headlights. Like there was not,
What was going through your brain?
shock.
Just shock.
And not shock because like,
You know how babies
you
are
know
made.
how,
but...
yes. And you know how people are like, well, were you that surprised? But like truly I
Well,
was.
nobody thinks it happens to them until it happens.
And you're doing the right things protection wise.
Yeah.
And so we go to the OB. I still hadn't told my family because I was like, I want to go to the doctor first and confirm it. And I was far enough along to hear a heartbeat.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Which for people who don't have kids, like when you typically, like if you're trying to get pregnant, you
Mhm.
can know as early as like 3 weeks,
Yeah.
4 weeks.
Yeah.
Because it actually starts. It's like it dates 2 weeks before
yeah.
it actually
Mhm.
implants or something like that.
Mhm.
We'll have to go through that in another
Yeah.
episode. But sorry, continue.
No, you're good. And I remember the OB comes in and I'm like, I don't understand how I even got pregnant. And I'm this far along. I'm 25 years old and I'm like, I'm on birth control. I didn't miss a pill. And he was like, well, that's why we say it's 99% effective. You're the 1%.
Going back to that, those numbers again.
Yeah. So it was truly a miracle.
Mhm.
But yes.
Because you truly had perfect use.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm now.
I would say mostly perfect. Near
Yes. 'Cause
perfect use.
yes.
Sure, you didn't take it exactly at 3 p.m. every day. Maybe it was like
3:01
3:10.
or 3:15 or yeah. But
Oh,
I
yeah.
took it every day.
Whereas I
And it
did
wasn't even
not,
like
yeah.
hours.
No.
Especially while I was dating Ross. Now I could have been single and not,
Yeah.
but
yeah.
while I was sexually active, I was
hmm
serious about that.
Yeah. And so you're still kind of in your pit.
Yeah.
This is probably like the turning point,
Mhm.
right?
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
So walk me through when you started dating Ross, what were you looking for?
I wasn't looking for Ross.
Okay, tell me
I
about
was
that.
still on my,
Rebellion?
living life. And I met Ross and immediately I was like, who is that guy? Like I was curious about
Did
him.
he have the beard back then?
He had the
He had the
beard.
beard.
He had the beard.
Okay. We'll have to like flash a photo.
Yeah. And it was crazy how connected him and I were from the beginning. And I'm 25, so I'm used to men who are 25.
Yeah.
And it was not the same as dating a 32-year-old at that time.
Mhm.
He was very mature from what I was used to. He was very straightforward about like his feelings for me, his intentions.
What's his intention? Like, what did he?
So he, at first, I think it was kind of like playing it cool for
Yeah.
a little bit. And then he was like, straight up, like, I like you. I
Mhm.
want to see where this goes. And then it was, I don't think we should sleep with other people. And then it was the I love you. And I wasn't used to that.
Yeah, you're like, wait,
Like I was not
who
used
are
to
you?
Yeah, I was not used to a man telling me exactly what he wanted and being so confident in that.
So how did you respond to it? Were you like,
At first I was
okay?
like, because I
Yeah.
was saying like I had a similar experience of a guy telling me that he had feelings for me, and I was like, later.
No thanks. Yeah.
But it was so easy with him. And he wanted to take me out on a date, and I'd never been on a date before.
Wait,
I know.
hold on. What?
I know.
You had never been on a date.
Mm-mm.
So these guys you were hanging out with.
I had a boyfriend, and he would be like, let's go get dinner tonight. It wasn't like while we were first meeting each other, did he ever ask me out on a date? Before we became boyfriend and girlfriend, no. But once we were
So he like courted you.
Ross, yeah. And he was like, I want to take you on a date. And I was like, no.
You're like, I don't do this.
I'm like, you expect me to sit across the table from you and make eye contact for 2 hours while eating food and
Knowing
talking
that you're
about our
interested in
feelings?
dating me?
Yeah, I'm like, that sounds like my worst nightmare. And he's
Yeah.
like, let's just do it. It'll be fun. I'm like, okay. And so, yeah, it was just so straightforward, confident. We had so much fun together. Like, we were just best friends. Still are. But yeah, he was like old school and not old school at the same time. And he's
He's like old school cool.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, like fun uncle.
Yeah, Unky Ross.
Unky Ross. Yes. And I loved his confidence.
Yeah.
I craved it at a time where I was so not there. Where I was like, wow. And Ross can go in a room and light it up, and he's hilarious, and he'll chat it up with anybody. Like, he makes friends so quickly. And I was like, wow, this guy is super special.
I wonder what that must be like.
Right. Like, I'm used to bolting
And so something just made you stay. That maybe you just liked the way you felt with him.
I liked the way I felt with him. He made me feel safe. From the beginning, it was like he always wanted to some degree, from like a romantic standpoint, he wanted to take care of me.
Oh.
So it made me feel like really safe with him, physically, emotionally, mentally.
And after me being in this pit of your life, you're seeking safety.
Yep. And he was like my safety.
Arms.
Yeah.
Oh.
And I was not looking for him, and he wasn't looking for me. We just collided.
How did you guys meet again?
We met at Bluegrass Sunday,
Okay.
Satellite.
Yes.
Like the best night ever. And we were in a big group of people, actually. So it wasn't like him and I met at Satellite and like ventured off. It was like we met at Satellite and then we went and did karaoke, and Ross sang. I think he sang like Constant Sorrow from Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? Which is my favorite movie.
Wait, really? I don't think I've ever seen that movie all the way through.
Oh my gosh, it's so good.
Wait, that's kind of shocking to me.
I
that's
know.
your favorite movie.
I know. I don't know. The soundtrack's
Wow, we're getting deep.
Yeah. So we went and he did karaoke.
Did he know that was but you were like, oh my gosh, it's a sign.
It's a sign. No, I was just like, I was cracking up. And then we went until, oh my gosh, we just bounced all over the place. Like, just had the most fun night. No pressure.
Did he ask for your Snapchat?
Probably.
I
Actually,
feel like he would ask for a
definitely-
number.
Oh, yeah, he's a number guy.
Yeah, I was
And
gonna
that was
say.
the thing too, is like, guys I was used to hanging out with is like, what's your Snapchat? What's your Instagram? But Ross is like, what's your number?
Yeah, the Snapchat thing I never understood. I'm like, bro, you can ask any of my friends. I don't. I'm horrible at Snapchat.
Yeah.
And two, like, why would we're on the same phone.
Mhm.
Why wouldn't we just text?
Yeah. And then, you know how when you're young and it's like the next day you're like waiting for them to text you, but like most certainly don't until
Yeah,
you like
but he
run
did.
out. Yeah.
Or you're supposed to wait like 3 days or
Yeah,
something. Did he
yeah.
wait?
No, he didn't play those games.
He was like, hey, I want to take you out.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I love it.
I know. He was confident.
Okay, so sorry, we went on a little tangent, but I'm
Yeah.
so glad we did.
Yeah. So you can learn a little bit about my hubby.
He's so sweet. You guys
He's
are perfect together.
he's Ross.
So sweet. All right, so you're walking the loop together.
Yes. Oh my gosh, we really did get sidetracked. But I
And-
guess we needed that
Yeah,
information.
you needed the background.
Yeah.
And you're just shocked. You don't know where this is going. Now, how did you get from there to being like, okay, I'm meant to be a mom?
I weighed my options,
Mm-hmm.
which is really hard to say out loud because of my daughter ever hearing
Mm-hmm.
something like that. So I'll let it be read between the lines.
Yeah.
But I knew as a woman, I had options if I wanted to stay pregnant or not.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought about it. It was kind of like thinking about, but like pros and cons to both.
Of course. Yeah.
Yeah. I was 25.
You weren't married.
I was not married. I did not have a job that was super secure.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it got to the point where I was like, if I really do this decision, will I be able to live with myself for the rest of my life? Will I be able to live with knowing there was a piece of me
Yeah.
and then there wasn't? And that was at the hands of myself.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not any shame towards that topic. It just didn't align with
Yeah.
me.
Mm-hmm.
And so once I accepted it, I was like, I'm all in.
Did you feel like you know how you kind of, you said you rejected God before. Did you feel like if you didn't, if you didn't choose this pregnancy, were you rejecting God again?
That didn't cross my mind. It was, I have two choices to make.
Yeah.
And I was going based off my own spirit and my own heart. And deep down, I think when you say it out loud, like this is an option for me, it's not that you're actually considering it to some degree, but you're like, this is an option. I've said it out loud. I've thought about it.
But people say it's not an option. It's like, well, no, all your options are out here.
Yeah,
But
right.
you have options no matter what decisions you make in your
Right.
life.
Right. And so once I said it out loud, I just knew at the core of my being, it wasn't even that I knew I was going to be okay. It was like, I know that I'm meant to be a mom.
Yeah. Which
Like,
how
I know.
beautiful is that, though?
And it's like funny. It's so beautiful, but it's funny. I'm like, it's so true.
Yeah. So did you feel like you were meant to be a mom, like as a child?
Yes.
Okay.
Very young age. Kind of like how Phoebe is, like,
Yeah.
with your baby.
She's so good with Forrest. Oh my
Like,
gosh.
she's like, gravitates to babies.
Yeah.
She's a caretaker. She wants to take care of them. She wants to give Forrest his bottle and get his toys and do all these things. I was very much like that. And it was like every single baby, it didn't matter who it was, I felt not connected, but it brought me joy almost. Like I loved. That's why I always say I feel like I have a heart for adoption because I truly love the children that are not biologically mine.
Yeah.
Like my friends' kids, I'm like, no, I love them. Like I care deeply
the
for
way
them.
that you are with Forrest, and no, I'm like, oh my
It's
gosh.
just like children are such a blessing, truly.
They are.
So yes, I felt it at a young age. And then in high school, I was always called the mom of the group because I'm like, I'm a caretaker at heart. Like if someone was feeling sick or had too much to drink or needed a ride, it was like
You were the DD.
I was the caretaker.
Did you ever do Enneagram stuff?
No,
I pictured
haven't.
two.
We'll have to do that.
Yeah,
I don't
twos
even
are
know.
like the nurturing caregivers.
Yeah.
But a lot of women by default are that
Uh-huh.
because they think that's what they should be.
Right.
But I think you are truly, that is who you are. Side note, which I think is so funny. Does Phoebe know about like breastfeeding?
Well, she watched me nurse Tate.
Okay, that's what I thought, right? Okay, so it's so funny. She heard my pumps earlier today. She goes, what's that noise? Did you hear her say that? Okay, she goes, what's that noise? I go, oh, they're my pumps. And she's like, for what? And I was like, oh, for milk, like for forage. And because she's like, he needs more bottle, and like in his bottle. And I was like, oh yeah, I'll pour it in just a minute. I'm almost done. And She's like, what? And I was like, yeah, for the milk. I've got to pump the milk out. She's like, out of where?
Like my
I was like,
boobs.
my boobs. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's like,
I don't know if she ever saw the actual contraption on me.
she's like, can I see?
She's
And I was like,
so,
yeah.
she's
Yeah.
so
Of
curious.
course. And she goes, milk comes out of there?
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah. She's like, what does it look like? And I was like, I'll show you if you want to see.
Here's the pump.
I was like, hold on, I'm about to take it out. So I took it out. I was like, see, and I poured it in, and she was just like mesmerized. It was the cutest thing ever.
Yeah, because
Well, I said, do you remember Tate? Probably.
she didn't remember.
She's like, look at
She probably doesn't. Well,
She's
she
a
was
little.
2.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was teeny. She was 2. But also, she watched my sister nurse Evan. So, but like my sister exclusively just nursed. I don't think she ever pumped with him. She might have, but I don't know if she's ever seen like a pump in action. And she probably has. I wonder if she's ever wondered like why a baby is. She's so like. What?
But then I did that, and I was like, oh my gosh, should I have asked you?
No. Oh my gosh. She's so curious.
It's the cutest thing ever.
No, I feel she's safe with you. So
She thought
you
it was
have-
so cool that
Oh, she is so
that milk came out.
And it's not just like that, it's everything in life she wants to know. What's
Sorry,
going
that
on.
was a side
No,
tangent, but
that
I
was
just thought it
such a
was
sweet
so
story.
cute. Yeah, it was so adorable. Okay, so then how or what felt different about the soil of your new life, even though it was still kind of messy?
Oh, it definitely was still messy. It felt the soil, like how I described it in the metaphor.
Mhm.
It felt clean.
Oh.
It felt because and again, it's not like at that time I'm thinking in my head like this is the new garden, the soil is
No,
clean.
this is
It's
looking
just a
back.
metaphor that I've attached to it. But what it felt like in real life was clean and healing. This is after I've had my baby or like pregnant, and I know my life is moving towards this, out of this area and going this way. It felt clean, like a solid, clean, firm foundation. Like
Yeah.
everything else was probably going to be shaky and rocky and new territory and messy and beautiful and all the things. But the foundation felt firm.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know why I cling to that word clean.
No, I
And maybe it was
think
just
it
like
makes a
my
lot of sense.
spirit
Felt
like
pure,
cleansing.
cleansed.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
And so I kind of looking at it and reading it, it felt like the Lord kind of gave you,
Clean soil.
uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just was like,
And he's
"Hey,
like, let's build this new garden together.
yeah, like hold my hand. Like,
Yeah.
we're going to do this together."
Yeah.
So you talk about rereading the Bible.
Mhm.
What was your initial reaction to rereading the Bible?
Oh my gosh. I was so confused.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like there was no clarity there. And I remember thinking, what the heck did I just read? And this is just the first couple of chapters. And I was like, I need a commentator.
Did you read it in order?
I started with Proverbs because it seemed like the most straightforward, simple book of the Bible at that time to someone who has never read the Bible.
Yeah.
But then
And
I was
why?
like,
Why did you?
I don't know.
You just felt called?
I don't know. It just was like
An urge.
Yeah. I saw a friend who started reading the Bible and she was following Tara Lee Cobble's The Bible Recap.
No.
Oh,
I need to look into that.
it's amazing. I was like, this is perfect. This is what I need. I read a little section each day and she has like a 6-minute podcast explaining,
Oh, it's amazing.
which was really helpful, but I still was confused. It's like she's explaining to me, okay, so hers is super unique because she does go into God's character. Like that's what she's focused on, not like really, like she
The
does an
word.
overview of what's happening at that time, but she's like really diving deep about where God showed up in his character. And I feel like I needed that reading the Bible the first time because I was like, I don't know him.
Yeah.
Like, of course, when you're younger, you know about Noah's Ark and, you know, all the stories, Moses and stuff. But I'm like, I don't know who God is at
Yeah.
all.
I always think of it like it's like a distant cousin or something. Like you know of them, but you've never actually met them and talked to them yourself.
Or like really, you haven't had anyone describe them in such detail that really resonates with you.
Yes, you can't even picture what they look like, who they
Yeah.
are, how they feel. Like the only way you would be able to know them is to see them or
Get to know their
get to know
character.
their character.
Yeah. So, because growing up in church on Sunday, I felt like what was being preached to us was more about how to be a good Christian. And of course, they use scripture and stuff like that. But it was, I don't ever remember anyone going into extreme detail about his character. So it was kind of like, this is just a man that I have to make happy.
Yeah. He's the guy who's put rules on my life
Yeah,
and given
and I
me a
have to do
checklist.
this to keep him happy. But I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so far from.
Were you ever worried about karmic retribution? Like if you didn't do something for God, something would happen? No.
I don't know if I ever went that deep.
You just were doing it because your mom.
Yeah, and it's what was being preached to you Wednesday and
that's
Sunday.
what you think you should do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which I think a lot of people are that way. Why do you think that the image of Jesus as the gardener resonated with you so much?
I think because I wanted to be cared for, and I felt like my spirit needed watering. Like I wanted someone to pour into me.
Yeah.
Because a lot of my life, and even as a mom, it's like I'm pouring myself out to others. And I didn't have much in my mind poured back into me. And it might have just been a high expectation because of how I care for others, where I felt like that should have been reciprocated to me. But people don't care for others the way that I care. Not everybody, but that's just not their.
Well, I think you were pouring your spirit into them.
Yeah. Oh,
and
absolutely.
Most people don't pour their spirit.
They just pour whatever time they have at that.
I think you were looking for spiritual fulfillment, which is why you came up short.
Yeah. And so having someone who knew me, understood me, knew what was going to make me thrive and grow and be content is why the gardener really resonated with me. Because again, I'm not a gardener, but I know about gardening, and it takes a lot of meticulous care and time and understanding each particular plant. You can have one plant here and one plant here, and they're side by side, but they have to be cared for totally different. So that intention behind it, I think, is what I was like, was so striking for me.
It's like I said, I think in our very first episode of this, like, such an incredible way to tell a story. So I love the imagery. I love the metaphors. So moving into, you have this beautiful new garden. You're getting stronger as the days go by. You're reaching back out to the Lord, forming this relationship. Do you remember, is there a specific time that you remember?
Seeking the Lord?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was Phoebe. She went to little church school. So she's like, I'm learning about this story and this story and this story. And I kind of remembered them. But she was like, Mom, what is God like? And I'm like, I don't know. In my head. Like, and you have to understand, when she asked me, she's looking up at me and she's like so hopeful and so excited and so eager. It was like she was warming up for the best conversation with her mom ever. And I'm like, I
don't know.
I don't know. And I didn't say that. I was like, well, I think I did to some degree, but I was like, I'll find out.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to have that. I felt so heartbroken not being able to give that to her. And Phoebe has a very, very special connection with God.
Oh, I
It
love
is
that.
something unlike I've ever seen. So even that radiating off of her
Mhm.
made me curious as an adult. But then she pairs it with that question I can't answer. So I get like a Target pickup, and I put a Bible in the cart, and I was like, I'm gonna find
Okay.
out for this little girl.
Oh,
And so
it gives me
I
chills.
opened the Bible, and that's when I started at Proverbs, and I started digging in and digging in. I'm like, oh, I didn't know that. Oh, I didn't know that about him. But it felt like as I turned the pages, it felt like a weight slowly being lifted off my shoulders. And I'm like, why do I feel this way? So I was trying to figure out who he was and why I was changing
Yeah.
at the same time.
Do you think that Phoebe's like clearly meant to be here for a purpose? I mean,
Yes.
we all are, but
Yeah.
I think
So
she's, I don't want to say special, but
she
I
is.
think she's special.
Yeah. And I know I'm like, it's of course every mom is like, but no, there's
Tate
something
is
there.
also special too.
Oh,
but
and yes.
I mean, in
They
his
are
own-
both equally set in this life
Mhm.
with a purpose. And it's going to look totally different, but they're both very spiritually
Mhm.
special and connected. But it's interesting because after I started reading the Bible more, I was thinking, where did I get Phoebe's name from?
Yeah.
I didn't have, I
And
had
it
a
was
list
not
of like,
Friends, if you were wondering.
no, I've never seen Friends. I've never seen Friends.
Even though her husband is Ross and
I
Phoebe
know.
is Phoebe.
I know. We didn't think that one through. But I had a list in my phone, like every sane
Of
girl, like, oh,
of
future baby
Of course.
names.
I've had that since like 7th grade.
Yeah, right. And Ross wanted to name her Emery. And I was like, no, that doesn't sound right. And I was like, Phoebe, I feel like has always been in the back of my mind. Even before I knew Ross, before I knew I was going to be a mom, like that name was there in my heart, in my mind. And it was just there. And I was like, her name's Phoebe. And then I'm thinking back, I'm like, God totally named her.
Mhm.
I didn't name her. He did. So I look up the definition of Phoebe. I hadn't read the Bible. So at that time, I didn't know she was the only female mentioned in the Bible to be a deacon. And she delivered the gospel to the Roman Catholic Church, just like she delivered the gospel into my arms.
Oh my gosh.
So I was like, wow, this is, I know. It was such a powerful moment. But too, when I was in the pit, what pulled me out was Phoebe. But I still wasn't searching for God then. But what pulled me to him was Phoebe. So it was like a full circle moment. Like I can look back now and see where he's like, did you see what I did there? And she's special. I don't think she was meant to just save me. And of course, Jesus saved me. She just like planted some seeds. I mean, she was 3 at the time.
Incredible.
3. And she is so connected. Her relationship with Jesus is unlike anything I've ever seen.
And how cool is it to see it from such an early age?
Mm-hmm. And Ross and I weren't
religious.
No.
Or not
that
even
wasn't
like
like
saying,
our,
but full of faith or
no, that wasn't our home life. So it was like, where is she getting filled? And I know she went to school and she's like learning the cute little fun things, but
I don't learn that spiritual development.
No, this was something
she was born with.
Mm-hmm.
The Lord placed in her.
1%. And that's what I told my mom. I'm like, that girl was coming regardless. She was meant to be here.
The Lord wanted her here.
Mm-hmm.
Which
He
is
did.
Just so special. All right. What does peace feel like to you now compared to what it was before?
I think I have that peace that surpasses all understanding, where it's like I can't even explain it. It's like you just have to feel it for yourself. For someone who craved peace in the chaotic and loud childhood, and someone who craved peace in the self-destruction era of their life, someone who craved peace, who had a unplanned surprise pregnancy.
Yeah.
I never had that. And then now it's like you can't even put words to it. That's why that scripture is so real. But yeah. It's just different. It's like knowing you're going to have really bad days sometimes and hard days, and you're still going to get anxious, but there's just still this sense of peace that's always there.
Yes. Which must be so nice.
It's like a relief.
Just like a breath of fresh air.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm so glad. I'm so happy for you.
Thank
It's such a
you.
beautiful feeling.
And it's so accessible. That's the thing.
Well, that's kind of leads me into my next question is like, what do you hope people that are watching this or listening to this take away from this testimony and this story? Especially if they're in the pit themselves.
Who Jesus is. He's accessible. He's here, and he loves you. It's not even anything about my story, because everybody's testimony is going to be so different and individualized and, you know, fit just for them. But one thing remains the same in all of the testimonies is the caretaker.
Yeah.
And I just don't think people know who he is at the depth of it truly is. Because when I read the Bible, I was like, wow. I was shocked. That is not, if I had to, I didn't know who he was, but if I had to come up with my own, it would not have been.
So then how would you describe him today?
Loving and gentle and always there. Easily interrupted. I love how much he cared for women and the oppressed and the poor and the sick and anyone. I loved his heart. Yes, I love his heart for the people who were not seen. As someone who wanted to be seen, understood, and heard, that was like where he was with those people who were often overlooked or even scrutinized and called unclean. And, you know, he was there. He was like, they're my people. And there's still a lot of us like that out in the world. A lot of us. And
who've been marginalized from society, from culture, from all of this. And he's still there.
He's still there. And I truly, truly believe he just loves everybody.
Thanks for being here with us today. If something resonated, maybe a sentence, a silence, or a story, hold on to that. If you felt seen or stirred or simply curious, we hope you'll join us again. Until then, stay open, stay tender, and remember, there's always a seat for you at the table.